What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm continuing with some more Foundation Standard, and today's deck is a really cool MARDU Reanimator deck, and it's really trying to leverage the power of some of the most powerful reanimation spells in the format. And it did get a nice addition from Foundations, which was Zombify. We haven't seen this card since I think it was like 9th edition was the last time it was in Standard. Originally printed in Odyssey, so it's a really powerful reanimation spell for just 4 mana value. Puts one of your creatures directly in play from your graveyard. It pairs nicely with Rite of the Moth, which is also another 4 mana value reanimator spell. And with Rite of the Moth having flashback, you have actually 11 spells just within these 2 spells to be able to reanimate creatures from your graveyard. We also have Rakdos joins up, which goes nicely with some of our legendary creatures, and also a Cruelty of Gix. This is more of a toolbox card in this deck, which lets you attack your opponent's hand and maybe get rid of a creature or a planeswalker. Lets you search your library for a card that you might need. Oftentimes I found it's usually to get a reanimation spell or to get an awesome target to bring back. Most of the time it's Valgavoth. And then of course the last chapter is to bring a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Usually that target is Valgavoth, and if that happens, the game is usually over. So we have a lot of powerful creatures. I'll get to those in a second, but I'm going to go over quickly what we have to help us get things into the graveyard. We have 4 copies of Fear of Missing Out. An awesome enchantment creature lets you, when it enters, you can discard a card and then draw a card. We have 2 copies of the Harvester of Misery. It has its own discard ability to it, so you can discard it to give a creature -2/-2, putting this into the graveyard. We have 3 copies of Bitter Reunion. Lets you discard a card to draw 2 cards, then you can pay 1 and sack it to give your creatures haste. That goes real nicely if you have an extra mana available and you just brought something into play from your graveyard. You can just sack this and be able to attack that same turn. We have 2 copies of Bitter Triumph, another way to get cards into your graveyard by choosing the discard option. And then we have a Liliana with a Veil. She's an awesome card for this deck because it attacks your opponent's hand, plus it lets you discard a card, and she has the Edict ability, which lets you have your opponent sacrifice a creature. And if you're able to use her ultimate ability, that's just more gravy on top of everything. But most of the time, you can be using her to discard a card. And then we have a little bit of removal with Cut Down to keep up with the aggro decks. Same thing with Bitter Triumph. We have 4 copies of Brotherhood, and this really helps against those low to the ground aggro decks. And then the meat of the deck, the creatures that we're going to be bringing back from our graveyard. We've got, of course, I mentioned Harvester of Misery. We have Trumpeting Carnosaur, really powerful discover creature. Plus, it has a way of getting into the graveyard too by discarding it to have it deal 3 damage. We have 4 copies of Tali Primal Conqueror. Has a really awesome ETB that lets you cast spells from the top of yours and your opponent's library when it enters. And of course, the biggest payoff is Valgavoth, Terror Eater. Usually when this hits play, it's game over for your opponents. And if your opponents don't concede, it's just going to eat everything on the board your opponents have and let you recast it, just paying life instead of mana. And then if you make it into the mid to late game, you're going to have a lot of spells and extra cards in the graveyard. The Kroxa and Kunoros is really good for eating up all that extra stuff that's in your graveyard that you're not going to reanimate, which allows you to bring back just a little bit of extra stuff. So just a little bit of extra push for the deck. Then we round out the deck with a bunch of land. It's got 23 land in the deck. A little light on land, but that's because it has the card draw with Fear of Missing Out and Bitter Reunion. But it does have some notable cards that also help you get stuff into the graveyard, and that's the Elegant Parlor, the Raucous Theater, and then the Shadowy Backstreet, all surveil lands from Murders at Carlisle Manor. So really powerful deck. Once it gets going, if your opponents can't beat it quickly, it's going to eventually establish control of the board and force your opponents to concede then. So pretty fun to try out. So let's go ahead and try it out on the ladder and see if we can rack up some wins with it. Yeah, I think that this is playable. We need another black mana, but I think we can do it. I think we can draw into it. We'll give it a shot here. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just bat in the graveyard. Oh, fear of missing out. Discard a Tolly. There's our other black mana. That's pretty good. Okay. Go ahead and attack there. Let's go ahead and do our thing. We'll pass. I think we'll go ahead and reanimate some stuff. We're gonna have to get some life gain stuff soon, but maybe next turn do cruelty. Oh, yeah, we'll do both of these. Go ahead. Go ahead and attack there. Pass. Okay. Go ahead and attack for everything. Sweet. Yeah. They knew we were bringing stuff back. That was a good win. Good way to come back there. Alrighty. Yeah, we can hold on to this. Alright. So I think we'll start out with the Liliana action. Let's see, the buried treasure. Interesting. Okay. Looks like they have a little bit of a discover action there. So anyway, we'll use Liliana, we'll discard a card, and we'll get rid of Vitali. Then we'll If we can reanimate it once we get another land.
This is my home, and I don't appreciate it when people tell you won't be outsmarting me.
Ah, bummer. And there's that land, though. Comes into play tapped, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead and bring back Atali here. Oh wow. Definitely do the Valgavoth. We'll decline on that. Doomsday Excruciator. Quite the demon show face off here. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and attack first. Don't want to play that because that'll end up milling us. Let's see here. Go ahead and play that. Leave that there. Yeah, we'll go ahead and pass. In the library. Oh, they're gonna make us. They're gonna mill us to death. We're actually gonna. Looks like we're gonna lose this game. Yeah. Ah, bummer. That Desecrator demon got us. Alright, so we're on the draw. Yeah, we'll keep this. Let's see. I think I'm going to hold on to that. All right. Discard Valgavoth. Go. Alrighty. Those two in the graveyard. Go ahead and play the theater. We'll go ahead and put that away. Go ahead and Go ahead and get rid of that Bronco now. Alright. Ah, bummer. And get rid of Valgavoth, it looks like. Interesting. Not getting any of our reanimation spells, though. That's hurting us. There we go. All right. Alrighty. That seems to be the reaction when we play Valgavoth. I'll take it. That's a good win again. Okay. I think we can keep this. We do have some card draw with Bitter Reunion. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and keep this. Uh-oh. Okay. Actually, I'm going to discard Rite of the Moth. There we go. Got that land. The reason why I did that is I hold on to the Trumpet Carnosaur for using its activated ability to deal 3 damage to a creature or planeswalker. I think we might need it with this deck. We also have some reanimation here with the Zombify. Okay. No blocks. All right. I think we'll just go ahead and get rid of the Heartfire hero now. No tax though. Yikes. All right. think we'll have to do the Zombify. Yeah, we'll go ahead and use that. No attacks. We'll block there. Ah, bummer. That's a good play on their part, though. They're able to nuke their own nemesis and deal the last damage to us. That's brutal. Okay, so we're on the play here. Nice. Yeah, it's a good hand. Card draw, discard. You can ditch our Valgavoth. Reanimation, plus a little bit of removal. Let's keep that. Keep that too. Go ahead and pass there. Looks like we're playing maybe a domain deck. Okay, we're in business. Let's do it. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's go at him. And I think we'll do the Bitter Union. We're going to discard the Harvester of Misery. Actually, get rid of the land. That'll give us Delirium. We can attack twice next turn. Oh, they got Sunfall. Nice. Alrighty. Okay. picked the wrong one. Darn it. That's Katie. It was going nuts. I was going to get the trigger from the Overlord as well anyway, so. That's a good win. We were able to go crazy on him. Alrighty, so that was the MARDU Reanimator deck. Pretty wild deck to play. We had some pretty good wins there, especially if we had Valgavoth enter the battlefield. Our opponents usually were going to scoop. However, our last opponent there, they did a pretty good job by being able to get rid of it using their Sunfall. Although they ultimately conceded, which was nice once they saw the ETBs we had going for us with all the Atalis and the Trumpeting Carnosaur, and the Rakdos joins up. Although I probably could have put them away within that stack cycle a little early if I would have chosen the right Atali. I ended up choosing the wrong one to keep, and if I would have chose the one to keep without the counters, they would have taken the 9 damage since it was a 9/9. However, we did have that red Overlord entering the battlefield, which was going to deal damage anyway, so we had lethal on the stack. But still, that was a wild game, pretty fun. Did struggle against the really fast Boros deck, and then of course we got milled in that game too. But still, it's the deck really does put some pressure on your opponents. If they don't have an answer right away, you're usually going to get the win with all these enormous threats and just overwhelming power you're going to use to take out your opponent. So I'll make sure to leave the link to the deck list in the video description if you want to check it out and build it yourself. It's fun deck to play. I think you'll have a lot of fun with it. So the idea behind this deck is a Reanimator deck. It's throwing stuff into your graveyard, reanimating it with reanimation spells, and attacking your opponent. But the very first game I played testing this deck out, I happened to be recording, and it was kind of funny with what I went up against. So I'll leave that little clip for you at the end here. But I think that'll do it for today's video. We'll be back in soon with more Foundation Standard. But until then, everybody, enjoy the clip I have coming up, and we'll see you next time. Okay, so we're on the play. Yeah, we can keep this. Got what we need to discard a creature, reanimate it, a little bit of removal, and the creature. Oh boy, of all the... You gotta be kidding me. Yeah. We're not gonna do that.